It is exactly 9:37 a.m. News and views on Salam Media. We now cross over to Germany and we'll be talking with activist and journalist Martin Lejeune. We're going to be talking about Germany and the ICJ. Okay, I've been getting some hand signals here from my technical controller. I'm not quite sure what's he trying to say to me. All right. He's saying to me that Martin is not an activist any longer. Martin, a very good morning to you. Welcome to the program.
Yes, good morning. I was an activist a few years ago, sailing on a flotilla to break the siege of Gaza, but now I focus on journalism and analysis, so I can give you a clear perspective of a journalist analyzing the situation on the ground in Germany. And I want to start by saying that this order of the International Court of Justice in The Hague, decided on January 26th, is a clear victory for South Africa and a defeat for Israel, because most of the indications, the court indicates provisional measures, and they were decided by 15 votes to 2 or 16 votes to 1. So this is a clear victory for South Africa, but it is also a defeat for Germany, because Germany supported tremendously Israel at the International Court of Justice. And please let me quote the German Secretary of State, Steffen Hebestreit, who's a close advisor and spokesperson of German Chancellor Olaf Scholz. And he said, the federal government of Germany supports the International Court of Justice in its work, but on the side of Israel. And he said, in the view of Germany's history and the crime against humanity of the Shoah, Germany sees itself as particularly committed to the Convention Against Genocide. And he said that the federal government firmly and expressly rejects the accusation of genocide that has now been made against Israel at the International Court of Justice. And he said, I quote, this accusation has no basis whatsoever. And this is, I think, a clearly stand behind Israel by the German government still, even after this court order.
Okay, so Martin, let's also look at the situation. I was talking to a lawyer a little while ago. She's based in the Netherlands. And the question I put to her is whether Israel will comply to this ruling. We do know, she pointed out, being a lawyer, pointed out to me that the ruling is it's an interim ruling, and the final ruling obviously will be set at a later date. And as you have indicated, she too has said that this is a great, great win as far as South Africa is concerned, regarding the case they've taken to the ICJ on behalf of the Palestinian people. My key question is, and I guess this is a question on everyone's minds, is do you think Israel will comply? They seem to be a law unto themselves, and they seem to be totally unbothered with the rest of the world view, very especially the world view of perhaps, brown and black people. Your thoughts?
Yeah, firstly, let me say clear that you're absolutely right. It is an order. It is a court order. It's no final judgment, and it's an order that indicates provisional measures. But these provisional measures, they indicate very clear that there's a possible genocide going on by Israel against the Palestinian people. Otherwise, it is not possible to indicate these provisional measures. And what I said at the beginning, that were clearly decided by 15 votes to 2 or even 16 votes to 1. So there's a huge majority of the judges who indicate that provisional measures. And I don't think that even this order has a binding effect. It's binding by international law. All
Mm.
parties to the also to the party of Israel. But I don't think that they will follow the measures.
No.
What we have seen the past days in Gaza after 26th of January, Israel even they even did more attacks against Gaza,
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
yeah, absolutely. And this shows clearly that they do not follow the provisional measures that are binding by international law. And these measures have to be done by immediate effect. So even on the day of January 26th, there is no time frame, or you have to follow the measures, until February or something like that. No, these measures, they have to be followed by immediate effect by January 26th. But we saw that after January 26th, they increased their attacks on Gaza. And even I heard a statement by the IDF spokesperson of the Israel Defense Forces, who joked about this court order with binding effect. So I think they don't take it seriously.
Well, Martin, I think when we look at the wall that they were building to separate certain sections of Israel from Palestine, they ignored that ruling as well, and they went ahead and continued with the building of the wall to separate Palestine from Israel. And I kind of wonder if they will abide. This is going to be a wait and see situation for the rest of the world, and it is also going to be a huge litmus test for the rest of the world. But let's wait and see what happens. Let's go back closer to home and see what's happening in Germany and look at Strike Germany being a call for international cultural workers. What is that all about?
This is a new development, because you have to know that since October 7, Germany backed all actions by Israel whatsoever. And this is called Staatsräson. It's a German word. It's hard to translate, but Staatsräson means to fully back Israel and to show fully solidarity with Israel, whatever Israel is doing, whatever. It doesn't matter if Israel commits a genocide. It doesn't matter if Israel commits international crime. It doesn't matter if Israel commits crime against humanity. It is the position by the government of Germany to back Israel whatsoever they do. And that's why international artists and philosophers and thinkers like Judith Butler or other prominent thinkers of the contemporary time, they joined Strike Germany, which is a call for international cultural workers and philosophers to strike the German cultural institutions, as the Goethe Institute, which is also present in some cities
Yes,
of
in
South
South Africa.
Africa,
Yeah.
exactly,
Mm.
all around the world. And it's a call to refuse German cultural institution use, I quote now, McCarthyist policies that suppress the freedom of expression, especially the expressions of solidarity with Palestine. Because you have to know that in Germany's actions to support Israel, the civil rights in Germany are suffering tremendously. And I want to
Mm.
give you just a few examples. Since October 7 last year, Germany banned at least 127 demonstrations, pro-Palestinian demonstrations in
Sure.
Germany. And this is my own research, and it's not complete yet. So at least 127 demonstrations, which would be under normal circumstances totally legally, were prohibited. And several artists and philosophers were cancelled in Germany. And that's why Judith Butler, one of the famous philosophers in the world, said she will not go to Germany anymore. She will not appear in an event in Germany anymore. And now next month we have the International Film Festival of Berlin, the Berlinale, and even
Mm.
some movie directors decided to withdraw their from festival. And you probably also heard about the famous political thinker Marsha Gessen from the United
Mm,
States. Uh,
yes.
she also had problems in Germany because they canceled the Hannah Arendt Award to her. So that Strike Germany is an international call to criticize Germany's stance with Israel.
Okay, that's where we're going to leave it. Always a pleasure talking with you. And of course, you are a journalist, Martin Lejeune. We have talked before, and you were just bringing us up to speed regarding Germany's support for Israel. And that has, of course, now resulted in a strike Germany, being the issue of all artists of all different types of artists, standing up and also saying strike Germany, making their voices heard in support of Israel. Martin, always a pleasure talking with you. Till the next time, keep safe and God bless.
Having me, thank you.
It is exactly 9:47. News and views rounding up this morning, and our final interview will be something soft, something sublime, something we need in our lives after all of this really hard, heartbreaking, cold stuff that is going around the world, very especially on our Palestinian brothers and sisters. We're going to talk about taking a break with Nazira Mohammed, manager at Avoca Travels.